have no idea, Rhino.
It's a little bit more modern for the Guardians of the Galaxy, but they've mixed it up a little bit ever since he got an update.
Now
to his
that
music.
you say it. Let's be fair, though. The only one I've gotten is the Mario Brothers. And that is our movie sort of cue, or not clue, but it's cue for movies for here on Good Things, but it's our movie Clue. And so we got Tanya in the house to talk about that. And as you were sharing in the break, you've been busy. Your eyes have been busy. You've been catching up.
I've been trying to catch up on my movies. My schedule, I had a little lull this week. It'll crank back up next week, but I took full advantage and caught up. But I did get to see Guardians last night. My husband, me, and one of my boys went, and we all really loved it. And as usual, it's got a fantastic soundtrack. So for me, those movies are worth it just to go listen to the music.
Well, when you now say it, that's what it's for, you can hear, like I haven't seen it, but you can hear that would be a good fit for that movie. So where does this one pick up?
This one picks up right after they had a Christmas special, Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was like a Christmas special. It may have been what it was called. I can't remember. Or a holiday special. But it was on Disney Plus. So if you miss that, don't worry. You're going to be able to pick right up and follow along. But this picks up right after the events of that special. And you find the gang. They are living on the planet Nowhere. And they're just kind of making that their headquarters and getting settled in when they are attacked. And it is somebody from Rocket's past coming in. The High Evolutionary, as he's known, is the bad guy who did experiments on Rocket when he was young. We get to see more of that. We kind of knew about it before this movie, but we get to really look at Rocket from a very young raccoon to today. And he is attacked. They figure out he's going to die unless they can go back to where those experiments took place and get the code to override this kill switch that is embedded in him that they did not know about until this attack. And so it's so heartwarming seeing little baby Rocket. And I mean,
and the fact that he's like a little disgruntled.
I know. I've always loved him. And, he gets to shine a little more in this movie.
Who voices him?
It's Bradley Cooper. Okay. And, in this one, he's got a baby voice, and I forgot to look it up. I'm assuming Bradley did that too, because it still kind of sounded like him. But it's just a little bit of everything. You've got all the action, you've got the emotion, you've got, this band of misfits. And it seems like yesterday that we were sitting here talking about the first Guardians movie, and I had never heard of any of these people. And they are now some of my favorite Marvel characters. But as usual, they're quirky, they're funny, and this one just didn't disappoint for me. There are 2 bonus scenes, as usual, very quickly after credits start and then post credits. Now, this one, we did not see anything about Kang, who we have learned previously, and especially in the last Ant-Man movie, he's kind of gearing up to be the new big bad guy of the universe. They're, building up a new Avengers group, and he's going to be the big enemy. Well, the reason we don't see him in this one is because this one was actually supposed to be released in phase 4 of the Marvel world. Now we're in phase 5, and it just got delayed because of their director got fired at one point, rehired.
That'll do it.
And so anyway, it just got put on the back burner for a minute. But it's still a great movie, great soundtrack. And yeah, I'll definitely recommend it, especially if if you're a Marvel fan, you're going to love it, no doubt.
And good for your 14-year-old?
Yeah, there was nothing. Actually, I will say Peter says the F word. I almost said gets to say the F word.
He got an F word, get out of jail card.
The reason I say that is because I saw an interview with Chris Pratt where he said throughout this whole world of movie making, every single Avenger has tried to get it in. And, of course, they all get cut, but his made it. So so there's a little bit of language. Of course, the violence.
But, but that's what it is with them.
Yeah, they kind of have that little funny twist to their violence, if that makes sense. And Gamora is back too, which is confusing a lot of people. And I'm not spoiling anything, but the reason is, there's two parallel worlds, and in this world, she's back, but she's the Gamora before she met the Guardians. So she and Peter are not in a relationship. And so that makes for a lot of fun, too.
Yes. Oh, I can see where that would be a little bit of a twist.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so this is James Gunn, the director's farewell to this. He began the Guardian series. He wanted to end it. And now he has switched sides and he's gone to the DC universe. And he's kind of headlining and heading up all of the new stuff happening over there.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch and see what happens.
Anything else coming out this week, or are you backtracking to what you've seen?
Well, the other big release this weekend is Love Again, and great counter programming because your typical Marvel fan is not going to want to go see a romantic comedy. I'm probably one of the few exceptions to that. But this one stars Sam Heughan, who we all know from Outlander. He plays James Fraser. And anyway, it's him. Priyanka Chopra Jonas is the lead female in the movie, but she has lost her fiance. He is, or her boyfriend. He was going to propose, and she didn't know until after he died. So it's kind of sad. But 2 years, the story kind of picks up. 2 years after he's died, she's in mourning, just can't seem to move past. And she talks to a friend that says, the way I have kind of gotten through losing my wife is I talk to her. And so she kind of took that idea and started texting her dead boyfriend's phone. And the person... of course, as we all know, those numbers get reassigned. Yes. And so somebody else gets the number.
Text back.
And he's reading all of her texts. He, too, is suffering a major breakup. And so what she says speaks to him. He has to go meet her, but he can't tell her what he knows. It's a really sweet story. But the best part of this movie is Celine Dion is in it. Sam's character is a music reporter, and so he goes to interview her, and of course she becomes his advisor on love.
Oh, that's cool.
But the best part is, you get to hear her music throughout the movie, and she wrote 5 more songs for this movie. So I felt like it was almost more of a love letter to her. Yeah. So it's fun. The girls, y'all are going to love it. A great girls' night out movie, great date night movie. But you are going to be singing Celine Dion for a couple of days, I'm telling you.
There are worse things to sing.
Yeah, and it was so good to see her because, she came out last year and said she's got
some health issues.
Like a stiff person disease, I think is what it's called. I'm sure there's something more technical. So we may not get to see much of her, as she's dealing with that.
She is growing in wisdom, in years in wisdom.
Yes, and she is such a great actress. She did such a great job in this movie, so it was really fun to see her. And this one was also filmed back in 2020 during the pandemic, so it's been sitting in the can for a few years. Just waiting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, so Rewind, I finally got to go see Super Mario Brothers. Fantastic for the whole family. I cannot say one negative thing about it. Even if you're not a Mario person, if you've never played the game, you're going to enjoy it. But you're really going to love it even if you have just a little bit of knowledge about the game. And I put myself in that category. I've played with my niece and my kids through the years, but I don't know all the nuances that they know, and I still loved it. And Chris Pratt voices Mario, so he's having a big week.
He is having a big week.
Yeah. So definitely I recommend that one for the whole family. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I saw it. This one, as we know, is based on the book, Judy Blume. But I felt like this is a good one to go see with your mom. Like adult girls, go see this with your mom. I thought it was just a real sweet little love letter to moms.
Which is coming up for Mother's Day. So
Yeah,
would
so
be a fun
take your
little
mom
outing.
to see that Mother's Day weekend. I think that would be a great outing. And then Polite Society is the one I briefly talked about last weekend. It came out a week ago. It is not at all what I thought. It's the story of a sister who wants to keep her older sister from being married. She doesn't like the guy, so she hatches this plan to break up the marriage or the ceremony. And there's a whole lot more to it, and it's really, really a fun, good girl power movie.
Sounds like there's a lot of options out there. So, Tanya, thank you for your time. You guys stick with us. We got a few more good things for you.